huge Norse mythology mistakes in God of War. What if I told you that one of the most popular mythology games ever made got some of its biggest Norse myths wrong? Don't get me wrong, God of War is an amazing game. It introduced millions of people to the world of Vikings, gods, giants, and Ragnarök. But the game's version of Norse mythology is very different from the stories told hundreds of years ago. Today, we'll look at 10 huge differences between God of War and real Norse mythology. Let's begin. 1. Atreus is not Loki's son. One of the biggest twists in God of War is that Atreus is actually Loki. In real Norse mythology, Loki is not the son of Kratos. In fact, Kratos doesn't exist in Norse mythology at all. Loki is an ancient god and trickster who has existed long before the events of Ragnarök. The game completely rewrites Loki's origins by turning him into Kratos' son. It's a great story, but it's not the original myth. 2. Loki was not a hero. In God of War, Atreus is often shown as a good-hearted character trying to do the right thing. The real Loki is much more complicated. He helps the gods sometimes, but he also causes many of their problems. In the myths, Loki tricks, lies, and creates chaos. Eventually, he becomes one of the main reasons Ragnarok happens. He is far from a traditional hero. 3. Thor was different. God of War presents Thor as a brutal and feared warrior. While Thor was indeed powerful, Norse people viewed him as a protector. He defended both gods and humans from dangerous giants. Thor was one of the most respected gods in Scandinavia. Many Vikings even wore small hammer pendants to honor him. 4. Odin was not always evil in the game. Odin is presented as a manipulative villain. The real Odin is more complex. He seeks knowledge above everything else. He sacrifices one of his eyes for wisdom and spends his life trying to understand the future. He can be ruthless, but he is not simply a villain. He is one of the most mysterious figures in Norse mythology. 5. Baldur was not invincible forever. In God of War, Baldur cannot feel pain because of a magical spell. This idea comes from real mythology, but the details are different. According to the myths, Baldur's mother asked every object in the world not to harm her son. However, she ignored one small plant, mistletoe. That tiny mistake eventually led to Baldur's death. 6. The giants were not giant. This might sound surprising. In Norse mythology, giants were not always enormous monsters. The word Jötnar often referred to a different race of beings rather than their size. Some giants looked just like humans. Others were wise, magical, and even beautiful. The game often portrays them as massive creatures, but the myths are more varied. 7. Ragnarok was bigger than the game shows. Ragnarok is the final battle of Norse mythology. God of War shows an epic war, but the original stories are even larger. According to the myths, the sun disappears, the stars vanish, the earth shakes, monsters break free, gods die, and the world itself is destroyed. It is not just a battle, it is the end of an entire age. 8. Tyr was not a peaceful traveler. The game presents Tyr as a peaceful god who seeks unity between different lands. In mythology, Tyr is best known as a god of war and courage. His most famous story involves the giant wolf Fenrir. To help bind the dangerous wolf, Tyr placed his hand in Fenrir's mouth. When Fenrir realized he'd been tricked, he bit Tyr's hand off. This act made Tyr a symbol of bravery and sacrifice. And 9. Fenrir's story changed. Fenrir is one of the most feared creatures in Norse mythology. In the myths, he is the son of Loki. The gods fear him because prophecies say he will kill Odin during Ragnarok. God of War changes many details about Fenrir's story and his relationship with other characters. The core idea remains, but much of the mythology is rewritten. 10. Kratos was never part of Norse mythology. This is the biggest difference of all. Kratos is not a Norse god. He's not mentioned in Viking legends. He does not appear in ancient poems or sagas. The entire story of Kratos entering the Norse world was created by the game's writers. By combining Greek and Norse mythology, the developers created something completely new. And that's one reason why the series became so popular. God of War is not a history lesson. It is a creative interpretation of Norse mythology. Some stories stay close to the original myths, while others are completely rewritten. But that's